Joe. This is a breaking news. People are looking for appointments and people are rejecting appointments. The son of our former president, former military head of state, Muhammadu Babangida, have just rejected appointment to be the chairman of the Bank of Agriculture. Yeah, this appointment was just from Asiwaju. A lot of people felt there were politics behind it, probably just trying to consolidate, his hold in the north. Some say, oh, this is a politics that came too late. It's already too late. The north has made up their mind as a bloc. And some people say, okay, for the purpose of developing Nigeria, appointments can come at any time. But in this case, Babangida Son, very remarkable president that we know so well in the history of Nigeria, doing a lot of things, opening up Abuja, building Third Mainland Bridge, and a lot of performance in this, apart from the fact that he was from military, quarter. People always see democracy as being better, no matter how bad it is. His son, Muhammadu Babangida, said no. Let me read from the letter. It's addressed to His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your Excellency, the title say declining appointment as chairman, Bank of Industry. He started very well. I wish to express my sincere gratitude for the honor of being considered and appointed as chairman of the Bank of Agriculture. It is a true privilege to be thought worthy of such a strategic role in advancing the nation's agricultural and economic development. So after, this is where I want to draw your attention to, after careful reflection and consultation. So it's a wide, broad-based decision, not only him. I have decided with utmost respect. When people say, once somebody said with due respect, that means there's no respect. Right, to decline the appointment. This decision was not made lightly. It stems from a convergence of personal and professional consideration, which at this time would not allow me to serve with the level of focus and commitment the position rightly demands. Somebody, pulling out because he felt he's not going to have enough time to put into the, into the demands of the job. I think that's professional, like you quoted, if that remains, the broader reason. Babangida Son is a alumnus of what's the name of this university again? From European University in Montreal, Switzerland. Where he obtained degree in business administration and a master's in public relations and business communication as well. That sounds like a professional, no doubt. Philip, do you think the rejection might be more than what is presented? Not having enough time to focus, maybe professional reason like he cited, or a broad-based decision of the North to say, oh, we don't want this. Even when people felt it was a wholesale politics, trying to appoint Babangida Son.
Absolutely. The rejection of this appointment is beyond what is stated on that paper. Because, like you rightly put it before now, there's this, this uneasy calm in the North when the appointment came. The very vocal senator from the Northeast, Senator Aliu Dume, has said that, well done, Mr. President, for considering the North. What about the Southeast? And he said it's coming rather late. And that is a very weighty statement. Coming rather late. Yeah. It's a weighty statement, very weighty statement. Now, coming to Babangida as a person, Babangida, whether you like it or not, hate him or like him, is a bloc in this country. It's a respected name, both in the North and the entire nation. So when you corner Babangida's son to be in your government, that's a big goal that you have scored. But the Babangidas don't want to be dragged into what is already bad. So by way of respecting themselves, Muhammadu Babangida has said, look, professionally, I won't have enough time to do this work at this time. But in the recess of it, Babangida is a voice in the North, and if you see, when the issue of the dissatisfaction of the Northerners about this government, one of the rally points is Babangida house. El-Rufai visited him, some other person visited him, and all of that. And now you are appointing Babangida Son into the government that the North, by extension, Babangida is dissatisfied with. Like you said, it was a wholesale politics, thinking that it's a good strategy that will work, but the ripple effect is going to cause more damage, because declining the offer will send different signal to the political, space across the nation, that Babangida Son declined an appointment from the Asiwaju-led government is a big minus. So whether you read it lightly or deeply, this letter speaks volume and is beyond what is on that paper. That is my take.
Well, the presidency is yet to respond. When Onanuga made this announcement, he cited repositioning the Bank of Agriculture as a catalyst for rural prosperity and agricultural financing. He said it's a step, this appointment, when he announced it, said this appointment is a step forward in repositioning the Bank of Agriculture. Obviously, this step is there's not going to be a vacuum, I can assure you, because there are many Nigerians that can do this job, even as Muhammad Babangida has declined. The presidency is here to respond. Do you think they're still going to dig deep into a non-figure or a non-figure son, or simply bring a technocrat who can truthfully move this Bank of Agriculture forward?
Thank you very much. Well, I think it's a good thing he rejected the offer. He has never known to be in the public space, never held any political appointment before. Even business-wise, we don't know
what he's been doing professionally.
We don't know his acumen.
The profession he quoted.
Exactly. It has never been shown on ground. But of course, we know that they have a lot of money. But first of all, the way you eulogized Babangida, it looked as if it's not the Babangida we know. The Babangida we know was the one that, the SAP of 1987. The Babangida we know was the one that cancelled the June 12 election, adjudged to be one of the best. Of course, the things he said, there are no lies. He built the Third Milan Bridge and all that.
And opened Abuja like we see.
And opened Abuja like we see.
So, we just cited Wike using
and he also conducted the most free election.
Yes, and we just cited Wike spending 39 billion in renovating the ICC.
Built by him.
You have taken it from me.
Go ahead. With what we have been, there is something called benefits of hindsight.
I have my opinion. What we see of him today is what we saw of, if you talk about legalizing corruption, you would say it came from Babangida era, building up boys and a lot of other things that we can't deny the fact that he ruled this country for 8 years. We can't deny the fact that there are the good and the bad of Babangida. We can't also deny the fact that till today, he still wields influence that we think are not positive for our democracy. Because everybody that wants to be anything today goes to Babangida. Well, in a bid to try to satisfy Babangida, he gave Mohammed an appointment. And in giving Mohammed an appointment, I don't think if there's anything bad in it if Mohammed takes the appointment. But in also rejecting it, he also sends signals politically. You see, we have always spoken of the president, that he should be governing and not playing politics. Everything that we see today looks as if it's political. It should be right pegs, right hole. I'm not saying Mohammed Babangida is not the right peg, right hole. But we have.
But the choice of him was not based solely on qualification.
Now, agriculture, let's say, is coming. Governor Bago has been deeply into agriculture. Maybe they are looking at Niger State to position us in the agricultural way. But the same Niger State is ravaged by insecurity. I mean, the other day, maybe not a month ago, we saw soldiers that were being killed in the space of, or in the scope of that place. How can you do agriculture very well?
Okay, when this announcement, particular announcement was announced, so many other ones were announced. Are you looking forward to rejection? from other ones, or they are going to say, okay, let's join Asiwaju in moving this forward?
If you look at those appointments as announced by Onanuga, the special advisor to the president on communication, what have you, it was filled with Northerners. I think it's for Kanu, Zamfara, and Babangida from Niger. Then there's one particular one from the West, and that one is very crucial if you look at it. I can't remember the particular portfolio, but if you look at it, that was the most viable appointment in all those appointments. Yes, some persons might accept the appointment, some they might not reject, but what he has said is the core of the discussion. Why is it that this government play politics with everything and not governing this country? Why must you play politics even with appointment at this crucial time? Because if you look at those appointments critically, it's all political. Because all of a sudden, the president, in his true nature, move away from the West and move to the far north and give appointment all to the north. That's why Dume said, thank you, well done, Mr. President. Thank God you have remembered the north. What about the southeast? You get what I'm saying? So I won't be surprised if there will be more rejection, because those people he appointed from the north, you know, they are part of the northerners who are saying that we are the worst hit by this government. We are being marginalized. We are being deprived, marginalized in the sense that they cannot access their farmland to farm. Exactly. Poverty has taken over their region. Please give us security so that our people can go to farm and we can provide food for ourselves and not a political appointment. How is it going to solve our problem?
Okay, you see, let's just pick this insecurity, for example. In the last 2 months now, there is a kind of flooding everywhere with rice. And I'm not too sure how the president thinks that solves the problem of denying the farmers access to their farm. Apart from the fact that when insecurity denies farmers access to their farm, they will lose, you know, the products that would have come from there. The price of rice increases, and that is probably the area flooding the market with imported rice myself. But the unemployment created by the insecurity, because these farmers do not have any way, their occupation is farming. So if you flood the market with rice, where would they get the money to even buy the rice, even though it's 10 naira? Because they don't have a job anymore. They don't have a job anymore. So what is the problem? Because like he said, the Northerners have not really said that the only reason why we have animosity against the president's performance now is because of appointment. I remember when Sambo, not the former VP, one Sambo said, he pointed insecurity, said the president, if you do not deal with insecurity, forget about 2027. He didn't say if you do not appoint Northerners. So why did the president think that rather than face insecurity head on, so that farmers can return to their farm, then appointing a few Northerners might even quell or make them to think, oh, they are included in this government?
Okay, so that's why I said that the president play politics with everything. You know, the people he's supposed to touch their lives, he's not touching them. You see, the people on the low ladder of or strata of life.
That's how
people that they don't have much to it. But he tries to pick on individuals that elite that have influence over those,
rather than affect those people
directly. There are a lot of things we can do that affect. There are a lot of people that will never stay in Abuja. They will never come to Abuja.
Yes.
We have millionaires that live in Zaria.
Certainly.
We have the millionaires that live in Zamfara.
Yes.
We have the millionaires that live in Ebonyi.
Go to Kano.
I mean, all over the country.
It was in Kano when I got to Kano. That was a long time ago, in 2002, that I find millionaires in Kano. They can't even speak English. They made all their money in Hausa.
We have millionaires that live in Jebu-Igbo, and they are comfortable there. They don't want to come to Abuja. Nigeria is a diverse country. The same way you and I don't want to go abroad to go and live. Yeah. So we can't leave their enclave, their local government headquarters, or their village. They are the god there. So don't just think that everybody lives in Abuja or Lagos or Kano. No. You see, what the president needs to do, I don't know, but I don't think there's anyone that will reject any appointment. We've not seen rejection of appointment too rampant. You know, what we see is that appointments are given, people are celebrating, newspapers are buzzing, congratulatory messages are coming in. That's all we have seen about appointment. Very few appointments, people resign, people decline.
Dr. Babangida resigned just about 2 years into
exactly.
Ali also
Ali Awudu resigned.
The
Dr. Ali.
proportion is very small.
Very small,
you know. So I don't think this.
Now Muhammad Babangida has rejected.
Has rejected.
Yes.
This is the first rejection we have seen so far in that magnitude. Now, what they need to do is that the president should stop playing politics all the time. Do you understand? For example, let me give you an example. Maybe we should widen it a little bit. The president needs to caution people that are causing mayhem and chaos on his name.
Yes.
For example, the case of Wiki.
Yeah.
Do you understand? He needs to call him to question the Okwewolo as it is right now.
Yes.
The chairman of APC in Edo State, even not just the chairman, the commissioner of information, I just listened to him ranting and saying what he was saying about defending Okwewolo and their insistence. Now,
And also, since let me add to the list, since Senator Akpabio is standing on Asiwaju's mandate,
yes,
he also probably needs to be called to order.
He needs to be cautioned. Now look at it. Obese followers, the obedient, some of them want to celebrate his birthday in Kaduna, in
Benue State,
in Edo State. They are denied. These people just makes him more popular. That is the truth. The traction he's gaining is too massive. If I was the president, I'm the star boy. She says he's our star boy. He should be the star boy. He should not let Obi take the shine. And people don't like oppression and repression.
Oh, yes.
Now, the way we are seeing it is kind of his people, without him speaking, his people are oppressing.
Okay, Philip, not to absorb the presidency of any rumors that had spread before that, to gain appointment in Asiwaju's government, you needed to pay certain money to certain people and all that, buying appointments and all that. This appears not to be it, because certainly if he had bought the appointment, he would not reject it. Could it be that some of these appointments were actually meritorious and were never bought like people were speculating before?
You know, the answer he has given to you, this particular appointment per se, it doesn't fall within the confined appointment that has been made so far by the government.
Yeah.
This appointment in question, they are political appointments.
To his benefit.
To his benefit. So they don't need to purchase the appointment. That's why you see Babangida Son. You know, like I said, the Babangida doesn't want their name to be dragged into it. So they want to stay, neutral, so that they can play the role they've always played. Whether good or bad, people always go to Babangida to seek his blessing.
Foreign envoys.
For election. So if the son is already a part of a government, then he's already taking side. Which means he cannot play the neutrality he has always played. So yes or no, and no, whether that rumor is confirmed or true, we cannot say to this particular appointment.
Yeah.
Because this one is purely political. That's why he's advising the government, stop playing politics with everything. Even in governance, you have not done in 2 years. We cannot state more than that this day was used for governance by your administration. All you do is play politics. You should realize that you are no longer in opposition, you are in government.
Yes.
So govern this nation. Stop playing politics with the people's life.
The presidency is yet to respond as it is. Do you think they are going to translate this as a rejection from the North, or that the North have made up their mind and they are unlikely to cave in when it comes to... you said it that Babangida is very influential.
Yes.
Certainly, of course. So are they going to be scared? Are they going to be worried?
The presidency?
Certainly.
Oh, definitely. If they don't come to make statement about it, I'll be very shocked, because they make statement about everything. In fact, the statement they made that mostly surprised me was that of Shetima. That's the vice president.
Yeah.
They explained to Nigerians what Shetima meant.
As if we didn't listen
when
to it.
Shetima is still alive. They were helping us to explain what Shetima meant. You understand? Whether they interviewed him or they went into his mind.
But the same video they listened
was the one
was the one all of us listening to.
So they are not doing the president good. Now, I should think, is it because most of the time people try to say, oh, you guys criticize the president too much. We drop hints of what they can do at every time.
But they don't pick it.
They don't pick it. And you know, you don't that you normally say criticism, pack the tools, put them in your bags.
Criticism are our tools.
We want, look, if today I can go into Okos and buy a brand new car, I'll be very happy. I don't know if you understand, because the economy is good, things are nice. Yeah. We'll be talking praise of the president. I mean, if we can travel out of this country on holiday, I mean, people that travel out of their country, Americans travel, Europeans, they travel everywhere on holidays to enjoy their life. What's life for? After all, nobody has left this life alive. Have you seen? No. So Nigerians also enjoy. I have basic things of life. Now, those are the basic things we are asking for. There are a lot of people in Nigeria that are overqualified. The ministers, as it is right now, they are all stallmated. They've plateaued. There are no new innovations in different sides, whether it's technology, whether it's this, all appointments. Look at them right now, whether it's prisons, whether it's, name it, from all walks, even in the military and all of them. It's like things. I don't know if you watched that video where Governor Mutwang of Plateau State was asking the platoon commander in Plateau State that came to, I think, is it Riom or one of the places that they came to do massacre recently? This just last week, and said no one person was arrested. No one person is ever arrested. And that's the same question
President himself asked. When he went to Benue.
So why do you have a battalion there? The security people are available and they come and do all their work.
No, so we don't move this into insecurity, but let's just catch this, because it's one of the things the Northerners were putting forward as a problem that Asiwaju should solve: insecurity. We find our, we know the military men, they do a lot of jobs. It's not easy staying out there in shine and all that, but we'll find out how strong they can be. I remember one time they locked up Barnes Plaza, because one of the officers was assaulted, or I think two of them also were assaulted, and they locked up the entire plaza, right, instead of trying to report the matter to the police to prosecute whoever that had assaulted the officers, and it took negotiation and all that for it to happen with their power. I also know that when you misbehave while around their checkpoint, maybe use a phone, or there's a way you look at each other, whatever, they can do frog jump there from morning till night. Why are they so strong on civilians that are not armed, and it happens to be that they are helpless with this insecurity? Is it a chain of command from the government, or what is the problem? Because if they could solve this insecurity that affects everybody, people do not care too much whether you appoint Babangida Son or not. Even Babangida Son have made it clear, I have a job. Because of what I'm concentrating on professionally now, I might not have time for this. What is so strong and hard? What is so impossible about reaching out to those needs that people are yearning for?
You see, I think that's one of the reasons why Babangida rejected the appointment. Peter Obi, in his campaign message, he said he wants to move Nigeria from consumption into production economy. And agriculture is one of the mainstay of production. Yes. And that is where the North is very strong. They produce onions, tomato, yam, just about rice, everything. They feed this nation. And some of this, they produce granite for export and all of that. But all of a sudden, they can't farm. So you are now bringing Babangida Son to head the Bank of Agriculture. You said the bank has been revamped and has been funded to improve agricultural production in the country. Maybe when Babangida Son come into the office to be the chairman, and this funds that are meant to be disbursed to farmers who cannot access their farmland, what happens for the money? The money must be, once the money is budgeted for, the government spends the money. I'm not saying Babangida Son is a cent. Yeah. So what is the reason of revamping the agricultural Bank of Agriculture without first of all taking care of insecurity? Because without the Bank of Agriculture, without the fund being made available for farmers, the farmers in the North have been farming successfully and they have been producing food for the nation. So the issue here It's not the issue of providing fund, which is also which is good.
Yeah, no doubt.
But the issue is for you to provide enabling environment. I've said it before that governance is beyond mere, pavement of road, construction of drainages, and all of that. No, they are part of governance. But the major thing is for government to provide policy that provide enabling environment for investors to invest. Farmers are some of those investors who will invest by going to their farm and produce food. So what the government should fail to do is to concentrate on providing enabling environment for the state to function. That's why we've always said that a good head. He's saying that those around the president are the one. These people cannot act the way they are acting without the president,
He must be aware.
Exactly. The governor of Edo State speaking in that manner, and nobody has called it to order. And his commissioner is coming to defend it. So the APC chairman, the ruling party chairman in Edo State, he's saying even worse things to other parties. And the president is there saying nothing.
All right.
They should think of governance.
All right. Do you think, without even believing that Babangida Son, rejected this because he didn't want to impair his father's neutrality or things like that. Do you think, as a professional, too, because he has his own writing, went to school, he's educated and all that?
He should be a grandpa by now.
Yeah,
He's 53.
If he's 53, it's not too old or too young.
Yes.
It's a very good age to serve,
Yes.
no doubt about
Yes.
that. So, do you think on his own, he's also looking at his name? Because, telling me to go and share money to people who are held hostage somewhere. Maybe you budgeted money to those who are held hostage by ransom seekers. Eventually, you have asked me to give that money to ransom seekers. So it's like a trap, giving me money to go and improve agriculture, whereas this security is still there. Maybe the guy doesn't want to soil his name and he doesn't see the seriousness of the presidency in attending to insecurity. You don't farm inside, you don't farm in an international conference center. You farm in the bush, you farm in the forest, you don't farm in airport road.
That's 39 billion naira.
So do you think, on personal note, he saw this as a trap to setting him up for failure? He decided to run away with his name rather than going into the agriculture that is dependent on security, and insecurity is largely unattended.
Okay, so we don't know, like I said before, we don't know the president, the former president's son, that's the former head of state son, to be someone that is into agriculture. We don't know whether he's into administration. There's no information available to us
on that.
based on that. Then we don't also know their pedigree when it concerns politics. We know the Abacha children have tried to be governors of Kano State once in a while, Mohammed. But we don't know that of Babangida. They are not in the spotlight. And we don't know how desperate they are for political position. Their father was a head of state, but it doesn't mean because the father was a footballer that he'd be a footballer. So I'm sure he must have taken note of, look at those kind of things and see that this thing is not what I want. But having said that, we know a lot of Nigerians that can turn a lot of things around. They should be anywhere in this country as long they're in this country. They can be Igbo, they can be Hausa, they can be Yoruba, they can be Efik.
If the intention is to revamp
agriculture, we can look at a broader base, because agriculture is not just the farming of the produce, the farming is the economics of agriculture. Do you understand what this one produce? My brother said just now that the north fits the country. I can tell you, every state
in Nigeria
is self-sustaining
in farming.
I don't know if you understand.
In farming. In Delta, they farm very well. Edo State.
As small as this Bitakola Orogbo, as small as it is a big stuff for export. And they bring it from Ekiti, Ondo.
Cocoa is in Southwest.
It's in Southwest. Look at ginger from Kaduna State here. Ginger is have you gone to buy ginger lately?
No.
It's expensive. Because why? People are exporting it. So if we look at so many ways of how Nigeria is diversified, we can look for people that have the smartest brain and bring them to revamp the agriculture. They're ready to do the job.
Something like a person of Akinwumi.
But the question is, was the Bank of Agri chairmanship position a trap? For me, I want to answer the question in the affirmative.
Yes.
Because the question you also raised, if you are saying that you're going to revamp the agricultural sector, without enabling environment where this money can be put into use. Rather, your intention is to use the money to settle some persons politically. For instance, kidnappers and ransom seekers. And then you want me to share it. If the man so discover that this, because he said it's wide consultation and personal reason. We don't know how much consultation he made, but he has contact by the virtue of being the son of Babangida.
Yeah.
So that's the question. That's the underlying question.
Yeah. Could be a trap.
Is it really true that the government intention is to revamp the agricultural sector, or it's another way of siphoning money for election in 2027?
And at the end of the day, after the election, if you lose,
yes,
EFCC will come up,
and then you are the one to
answer for it.
Answer for it. You remember is it the market money?
DSS will come for you.
What was the money they shared under Buhari? Is it the market money or whatever?
Security,
yes.
And then what
5,000, 10,000.
Yes, and that one that happened under the humanitarian ministerial.
There was one of that nice.
Better I do.
Better I do.
And the person before her.
All right, let's put this. What's your advice to the president in this agricultural specifically, leaving all other appointments, because agriculture affects, for any nation to move forward, you must be self-sustainable in agriculture. There are no two ways about that. How do you secure our farm is urgent. Whether election is 2027 or 2031, we need secured forests, we need secured farms, we need secured roads.
I think what the president needs to do is to work with the state governments. Now, everybody has been agitating for state police. I am not an agitator for state police.
Yeah.
I've always said it, I keep on saying, state agitation for police is not our problem. We already have state police. We have state police in Lasma. We have state police in Amotoku. They are all these are under our state police. I've never been an agitator for state police because from the governors we are seeing, they will become beasts. Especially when it's right structure.
So how will they work with the state police?
The way you work with the state police is to organize.
No, you don't have state police. How will you work with the state governors?
State governors?
Yeah.
The state governors, number one, have a lot of money. Number one. Number two, they have local government chairmen. Number three, I think every state have vigilante group. They should empower these people and make sure the community.
No, the law setting up all these vigilante does not allow them to bear the kind of arm that can match that of these terrorists.
First of all, what they need is information. Now, when they get that information, they should take the bottleneck of the police.
You think they are not getting that information? Okay, let me put it this way. How do you think, in a very shortest form, the president should attend the insecurity that is a kind of a forerunner for good agriculture in Nigeria? We don't farm in the air, no matter how any kind of system of farming. In Nigeria, we have not started farming on the street. It has to be in the bush or in the forest or in some isolated places. How will the president take it so serious to secure the farms? Whether for election or not, we need a secured farm.
Yeah, it's simple. It's very simple. We have discussed it on this table that when we're growing up, within the police, there's what we call CID.
Yeah.
They live with you, you don't know they are in police. The president need to recalibrate the security architecture. Because what the security architecture is lacking is formation gathering. And if you look at the security agency today, all the security agencies, most of the people who are in the security agencies, they are criminal elements. I'm sorry to say, the personnel, they don't portray
and they don't punish their own.
Exactly.
Like they punish outsiders.
Exactly. So,
and for example, let me just push it to you. I see EFCC, maybe once they interview you, they will snap a mugshot of you. If they charge you to court, they release it. But I've seen EFCC officials sacked. I've never seen any mugshot behind them. Why do they protect them like that?
Exactly.
Whereas they should serve example.
So what the government need to do, they need to go back to the drawing board. Where are they going to? The security architecture, and they should rework it because it's not working.
Right.
Because it's not the security architecture, it's not working. They need to do something about the security because security is not by bearing armor everywhere. It's information gathering, like he said. You need people to give you information about the forest. They used to have forest guard. They should bring back the forest guard we used to have, who police the forest. They bear arm, but not to the extent that, but they gather information from the forest. If there's an intruder from outside, when that information get to where it's appropriate place, they act. But again, the army we have today, I saw somewhere that about 15 police were arrested, 18 army were arrested in the north. Is it somewhere in the north? Recently, for selling arms to terrorists. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So there's a problem with this.
So even the recruitment integrity has to be checked.
Yes.
Right. We don't have all the time. We don't know for sure all other reasons beyond what he has stated, that he needs to concentrate professionally, that he doesn't have enough time, to dedicate to this call. And as a result of that, he has decided to reject the appointment after personal and a wider consultation. But we feel that hopefully for agriculture to work, a security system or our insecurity rate needs to be reduced drastically. Thank you for hanging around. Until next time.